It is a beautiful evening, and life is so beautiful. Every day of life gives a new perception about life. I was thinking that some people are so much religious in all nations, all regions, all religions. There are people who are very religious. They are so much religious that they are completely, they are not involved in sexual cravings. They have win over their food cravings. They spend their life in devotion of their gods. They practice fastings and many types of religious rituals. But still, and they are also very honest in life. They don't cheat with anybody. They are truthful. But still, why religious people are not happy? Why they always say that I am practicing much, so many religious rituals, but I am not happy. Why they see only troubles in their life? There are troubles in life. I'm not saying that there are not any troubles in life, but maybe everybody has troubles in life. Then why a religious person is feeling happy? Whereas in spirituality, it is said that spirituality brings joy. Spirituality brings happiness in life. Spirituality brings peace in life. Still, a religious person is going through anxiety and depression. A religious person is facing so many physical ailments related to stress, like they are having headache, they are having backaches, and so many problems. They are always angry. So what is the problem? I think the problem is the negative attitude towards life. Practicing celibacy, they are practicing, they are practicing compassion. They are very hardworking, but the perception about life is negative. They see flaws in everything, and they don't see the goodness of life. So it is a psychological thing. That is how our psychology works. Whatever spirituality they are following, it will sure result into a good fortune. But we are talking about present life. A person going for a walk, goes daily for a walk. A person daily gets up early in the morning. He is very strict about healthy diet. It is sure that this lifestyle will help him gain health, But still, if he has a complaining nature, always complaining type of nature, it actually brings unhappiness. It actually brings anxiety and depression. It actually makes life miserable. Whereas when a person doesn't have this complaining and blaming attitude, life becomes easy. Now, psychology is also supporting, endorsing people's mindset of blaming, complaining. Psychology says that whatever you are feeling stress, if you are always complaining, if you are always blaming, if you are angry, it is not your fault. It is your parents, it is your upbringing, it is the genes you have got from your parents. You are not at fault. On the other hand, religion is also doing the same thing. It is also saying that your past life, karma, or some god is responsible for it. You just submit yourself to God and everything will become fine. Now, maybe psychology doesn't have any bad intentions. Religion also doesn't have any bad intentions. But a bad concept, even with good intentions, results into bad consequences. Jain philosophy, it explains things in a wholesome way. Anikantavad, which means which means we have to see everything into a multi-dimensional way. We have to consider all the factors. Yes, genes also play an important role in our life. Yes, our also plays an important role. Circumstances also play an important role. But ultimately, we have to also consider our own responsibility because siblings belonging to same parents are belonging to same parents, and we can see difference in nature who have got same type of genes. They have inherited the same genes, but we can see one child could be having a nature of complaining and blaming, and other child might not be having that nature. Same way, in similar circumstances, one person might behave awkwardly and other person might behave wisely. So we cannot blame our parents. See, climate has an important role in our health, but we cannot blame the climate. Blaming the climate doesn't serve any purpose. So problem is that when a person has the nature of blaming and complaining, it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, then person can seek only bad things in life, only pain, only unhappiness in life. There is pain in life, there is also happiness in life, but that person's psychology has been programmed. He himself has programmed his psychology like that. It is human psychology. You see, some people, they cannot, they feel very awkward. They feel very hesitated to accept their faults. They cannot demand an apology. So it is a psychological problem, psychological programming of that person. So this programming, we have ourselves made this programming, and it is human psychology that whatever we endorse, our nature becomes that way. We can see kids whose parents have been very strict with them, and they turn into a very good person, while some other kid might become very adamant. Now both the kids, one would say that I am a good person because my parents were strict with me. Other kid would say, somebody would say that certain child has become turned into a very good person just because their parents were not very strict with them. They were very flexible. And for other kid, they might say that that kid becomes spoiled because their parents were not strict with them. And severe strictness comes only when somebody is very much adamant, and it sometimes is necessary. It becomes necessity also, and it is the part of life. When you go in life, you will have to face everything. Somebody would get angry at you. You cannot choose that life behaves with you in a certain way. You should prepare yourself that whatever way life behaves with you, you have to tackle it. You should prepare yourself in that way. Some people say that you should not compare your children. No, comparison in itself is not the problem. It is how you take the comparison. Actually, comparison is to motivate a person. But a person with negative attitude might consider comparison as an insult. So what can be done? So it's the problem in the attitude, in the mindset of that person. So you are a religious person, that's a separate thing. But are you a happy person? Do you have love and care for your family? Do you feel blessed that you have got a family, that you have got parents, that you have got siblings, spouse, and kids. It is all blessing of nature. I would not say God, but it is sure blessing of nature. Whether a person believes in, believes or not believes in past birth and next birth, but we can surely, evidently acknowledge that we are ourselves responsible for our all emotions, moods, attitudes, thoughts, our communication skills, and our behavior. Nobody else is responsible. Yeah, circumstances are there, and I can understand that in difficult circumstances it becomes a challenge to remain calm, to be loveful. But what we see is that if we just keep on blaming the circumstances, then we might get unhappy even in the favorable circumstances. Even when everything is fine in life, we can feel miserable. While a person who is going through critical illness like cancer, we can see such person, some people being very peaceful. They would say, whatever happens, it will happen. Why should I spend time in sorrow? I will enjoy the life, whatever I have to live. So it is how your life, changing your perception actually helps you a lot to live a happy life, to be loveful to your family, to acknowledge that family matters, to acknowledge that whatever health you have got, it matters. We don't actually acknowledge what we have achieved. We take it for granted. You see, and whatever bad happens in life, we just keep on blaming for it, complaining for it. Your somebody has, your parents or your kids, your family members, spouse has done something, many things for you, but everybody has some weaknesses and strengths, and everybody has a perception. Sometimes other people's intentions are good, parents' intention is very good, and the kid doesn't understand parents' attention. Then there becomes a problem. I heard of an example. A lady was living with her mother-in-law, and some neighborhood women came and said that, see, your mother-in-law is very strict. She doesn't allow you to go outside.